Thanks for joining us. I am Brenda McBride. I work for HumanWare. I'm the product manager for the ClassMate Reader and look at development and answering some of your questions as well. So thank you for joining us today as we look at the ClassMate Reader. This is a 101 presentation. We're going to talk about some basics and where to find content. If I can get some feedback from everyone, can you indicate if you are currently using a ClassMate Reader? I am going to go through some basics today because I think I have some people on the line that this is their very first time learning about the ClassMate Reader or have some basic information. So if you can indicate through the chat asking questions, that would be greatly appreciated. So I wanted to cover this first of all about the ClassMate Reader. And we've got some people that have them but haven't started using them. And we've got a whole set of webinars and presentations coming up over the next 2 weeks that I hope will give you some really great backbone information on what you're going to need to do and different ways to access content. The biggest question we have is, where do we find content? And my answer is, it's all around us. We just need to take a little look, and then now we're able, with the ClassMate Reader, to have this as a portable option. So I wanted to cover some general information about the ClassMate Reader. The ClassMate Reader, if you look at the size, it's almost like a PSP in size. There is a interactive touch screen on the very front, which allows us to change the colors of font, for example, to highlight passages. So it is a portable digital talking book player that's not just for digital talking books. We also can take multiple file formats and to play those. So with the ClassMate, we have at the very top a microphone and a speaker, which allows us to play the ClassMate within a room setting, but it's not designed for an entire classroom. It's designed for individual use. And you also can have headsets so that you can be quiet. And what happens actually when we use headsets, we actually are plugged into that content. On the right-hand side of the unit, we have 5 buttons at the very top, and they're in a circle formation. These buttons are used to navigate through material, go forward and back, up and down as if it was moving a cursor, for example. And then the center button is our enter button, so if we are selecting information. We have a go to button, which allows us to go to page. It allows us to go to heading. And within that button as well, we can activate a find text option, which I think is really great when we are looking to search a document for a particular word or passage. If, for example, it was not in DAISY format and I wanted to search the word chapter, then I would be able to go ahead and find the different words that say chapter and navigate that way as well. At the very bottom of the ClassMate, there's a play pause button, and whenever we stop a document, whenever we restart it, it will be at the same spot and location that you last left off, which is a great advantage. On the left-hand side of the unit, if you're looking at the very top of the unit, we have at the very top left-hand corner, an escape button. This is a kind of like a back button. To the right of that is a button, and it's kind of turned on the side. It's a tools button. And in the tools button, this is where we find great features such as learning how to put in highlights, changing our highlight feature, putting in bookmarks, and then navigating those. So this unit is really great for not only playing that content back, but now it's going to that extra step where we are able to activate and become more engaged in the text. So the middle button is our home button, and this allows us to open books, delete books. There's a timer in there, as well as change visual settings and auditory settings. The button right below our home button is our dictionary button, and this allows us to navigate through about, I want to say 35,000 words, which is going to be a great basic dictionary. It's not going to go into your scientific terms, but it gives us some great vocabulary which we can be increasing, because a lot of individuals that are using this have weaker vocabulary skills. The button right below that is our record button. And this allows us at the very end of a passage to press that button to record information about the material that we've just read, and then for us to review it. So this is a great study feature that actually needs to be taught how to do, because we can become passive learners, and meaning it just goes in one ear and out the other. And so I love the record button if there's a document that I need to have information that I need to review, then that is great. On the top right-hand corner of the unit on the side is our power button, and you need to press and hold this button. It was designed to have a press and hold to turn on the unit just in case it was bumped and we didn't want it just to be turning on. So the ClassMate has 7 hours of playback time and 4 hours to recharge, and you can recharge and listen at the same time. On the side we have a slot. This is where all of our books are held. It is on an SD card, and you can go up to a 30 gigabyte HD SD card, which is your high capacity memory cards. The memory cards look like what you would have within a digital camera, and there's many times that you can get those for some great prices now. The price of memory has been reduced dramatically over the time. We also have a stylus built into this unit, and this was designed so that we are able to interact with the text, and you can highlight with that and use our touch buttons. At the very top of the unit is a jack at the very top, and this allows us to connect directly to the computer, and it's going to be recognized like a mass storage device. Let me just answer this question. Yes, the PowerPoint has begun, Rochelle, and you should be receiving, on the very front of this is only a picture, so those individuals on Accessible Event, there's no words on this slide, so you aren't going to hear that. Through Accessible Event, you will be able to have the material read, and so there's not anything being read on it at all. There's a graphic that I'm explaining right now. So there is also a power jack at the very top of this unit, and this is where you plug it into the wall. On the left-hand side, we have a headset jack. You also can put in an FM adapter to allow you to pipe this through your car while you are playing, and I actually like doing this when I'm listening to my audiobooks while I'm driving. I like to be able to listen to this, and this way I can have the very playback speed, which are our next buttons on the side of the player. So we have a toggle button between volume and speed. We have an up arrow and a down arrow, and that kind of gives us some basic information about it. Okay, thanks, Chris, to say that you have slides. I'm just going to review some of these questions really quickly before I move on. So give me